All right, everyone, we're going to introduce our guest speaker this evening, Ryan McDonald, who has an NJ1ST podcast, so he'll be our guest speaker tonight. Welcome to Ryan.
Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for letting me come speak to you. Morris Plains. I'm from Warren County myself, so not too far at all. And I went to school at Kane University for 2 years and finished at Rutgers in Newark for 2 years for politics, political science. So I've been active in my home state of New Jersey for the last decade almost, I'd say. In 2018 is when I started NJ1ST, and as Michael told us, thank you very much for having me. I get also Michael and Marty. But I hosted NJ1ST. It's a brand bringing the America First message from Donald Trump to New Jersey. I was doing my job going up and down the state, just sharing information with everybody. And here we are in 2024. I'm still kicking along, doing YouTube podcasts, the NJ1ST podcast. You can find it all over the internet. But I would really like to come to you guys today to talk about the primary election that we just went through, the 2024 New Jersey primary election. I was up close and personal with it firsthand. I was over in Middlesex and Monmouth counties, helping an America First Republican candidate try and primary, become competitive and primary in those counties over there, Congressional District 6. But I want to give an overlapping view of the primaries for the whole entire state. So unfortunately, it seems like the media only likes to cover the Democrats and make them in a nice light, as everybody I'm sure knows. So it started off the year with Andy Kim running for Senate against Bob Menendez, gold bar, Bob Menendez, corrupt. That was the narrative being spun. Enter Tammy Murphy, Phil Murphy's wife. They're trying to run her as a Senate candidate. Interestingly enough, there were Democrats like Brian Stacks, who has a great reputation, and also Stephen Fulop, great reputation. They endorsed Tammy Murphy, quickly changed their endorsement to Andy Kim once she backed out. So Andy Kim was the number one golden child all of a sudden for the Democrats. Enter him putting the lawsuit against the county line. So he completely galvanized the support base of the Democrats, all the grassroots, all the establishments, every kind of corner in the Democrats to go after the county line. That's what everybody wanted. All the independence voters, I myself consider myself an independent, don't consider myself a liberal, don't consider myself a conservative. I don't fit in those boxes that everybody puts me in. So I'm an independent voter. You know, the first time I ever voted in my life was 2020 for Donald Trump. I hit 8,000 doors for him in Pennsylvania, a battleground state as well. So I'm new to voting. I'm not new to politics, but I'm new to actually voting for the lesser of two evils. If you guys can keep it up. Sorry, I'm speaking fast then. So Andy Kim getting rid of the county line. Morris Plains Republican Club, you guys go to your convention every year and you make your vote for who you want to make the endorsement as a whole county. I understand that's the process. I understand that's what political parties are. But there's people like myself, independents on the outside, who have to register a certain way to vote in the primary. There's a process. So a lot of, they call them low propensity voters, people who only vote once every 4 years, or people who only vote twice every 4 years, myself included. Those are the targets that get them voting more commonly, and therein lies the county line whole debacle, is because now there's new voters coming in. People want different kind of representation, want maybe more conservative people. On the Democrat side, they want more liberal and Democrat. So Andy Kim saw that from the very beginning. He said, okay, I gotta get behind this, abolish the county line movement. So he did his lawsuit against 19 clerks. In New Jersey, there's 21 counties. Salem and Sussex were the only two counties that don't have a line. I believe you guys didn't as well up until 2021, is when you guys stated a county line in Morris in 2021. There was a little pushback in that. I got messages too as well in 2021, but they decided to put the county line in for Morris County. And again, at the end, question and answer, you guys can dispute me at all. You know, I have no problem learning. But that's exactly how it was reported. All this is reported by NJ Globe, David Wozniak. So lawsuit by Andy Kim against 19 county clerks. As that went on, they lost. The county clerk lost as defendants, and Andy Kim won. So a judge, you guys all know, got rid rid of all the county lines, but just for Democrats. Now, the next thing that happened was the Morris County Republicans, the leaders, wanted to make sure that it was just for Democrats because there's a whole process. Elections aren't easy. It's a big administrative, bureaucratic process. So they want to make sure that they're doing things properly. And the judge let them know that, no, it's just for Democrats. So the Morris County Republicans didn't go against the county line at all. They weren't against this encroachment of, I guess you would say, establishment party politics that are influencing the ballot's design. They decided to just make sure that it was only for Democrats. So that's how it ended up. The primary happened, it was just for Democrats, but right before it happened, there was one county clerk in Burlington. One county clerk in Burlington decided not to do that for Republicans. So there was one county in all of New Jersey that was supposed to have a line for Republicans, but a county clerk decided not to. I'm not sure if other county clerks in Cape May and Warren, where I'm from, Sussex doesn't have a line, but Morris, I know that they have Republican county clerks. I think that maybe they should have stepped up and took a proactive stance like the Burlington County did. But again, at the same time, I'm educated by people much older than me that when you're elected in office, it's not for the party at that point, it's for the good of the people. So you can't play party politics at that point. You have to be unbiased, as they say. So maybe that's why they chose not to do it. And on the flip side, actually the Burlington County GOP sued the Burlington County clerk for trying to abolish that line. They failed, and the judge went through and continued with allowing the Burlington County clerk to get rid of this line. And in the end, the America First lawsuit went through to try with a bunch of candidates, Republican candidates, Albert Harshaw, Greg Mealy, Shirley Maya-Cusick, and Damon Gaudo running for congressional seats. They tried one last time in April to get rid of the county line. A lot of people who are independent voters or conservative voters don't like the line. It's, I guess, a hindrance to their campaigns, but on hindsight, it's better for if you get the endorsement of the county conventions. But I just wanted to recite that whole thing because it's a lot that happened just this year, just this last 6 months, and I was a part of it. If anybody has any questions on all of that, I can definitely answer all of that. But if anybody has any questions on anything else relating with New Jersey politics, I've been very active in the state and I can answer that as well. And I had some other stuff, but it's all basically about the county line. That's what I wanted to come speak with you guys today. And I understand that it's not as advantageous as people make it out to seem. We just had the primary, the Democrats who all had the county endorsements, they won even without the line. So there is now questions to say how much does the line even matter when it comes to voting. For the Republicans, we will not see that except until maybe next year. What I think is going to happen is that the Assembly, Democrats and Republicans are going to come together, draft a bill to finally abolish the line, rather than how they had to do it county by county, because that's the way we have it. But I think that'll be probably a good election and campaign material for whoever's running in 2025 as well. But if anybody had any questions, I know that was very boring, but it matters. A lot of people will see this online. A lot of people who are younger than me who are voting. Again, I've only voted 3 times and I went to school for this. A lot of people think that's odd, but I don't think of the lesser of 2 evils when I'm voting, you know? But if you chip at it away 1 year at a time, we have Assemblyman Bob Off from Bergen County. He says, you guys have to vote by mail. He's got a point. You guys have to vote early. He's got a point. Whether or not we disagree with it, it's a numbers game. It's about how many people you can get to vote. So that's why I wanted to leave with you guys today, my experience with the 2024 primary election, and if anybody had any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Yeah, well, you're going to have several people on the Republican side running for governor. Now, the person who isn't going to get a lot of the lines is going to sue. And let's face it, he's going to win.
And that is what people are looking for and looking at is 2025. They rid off 2024 6 months ago. I knew that. They're looking at 2025. Now, it is interesting, like how I just said, how is it going to look for Republicans in 2025? They're going to have to act fast. So maybe they're going to draft a bill to say, but then again, that bill might be signed later in November. Yeah, it might take a little bit more for Republicans. I hope not. I hope it just gets, I'm sure maybe the senator can even help us, but I hope that they get rid of it for both sides, because the contention was that it was a 14th Amendment violation, specifically the Equal Protection Clause, saying that one side is afforded a right that we aren't. And you can make that case for all the 49 other states that did not have this. Only New Jersey had that. And now you can make the case as well for all the 2-3 million Democrats that won't have it, but 2 million Republicans will, sort of thing. But yes, 2025, that's what they're looking at for the county lines, whether or not it's even going to matter, or but
Oh, it matters. There's no question it matters.
I think June 17th, in a couple of days, Bill Spadia is making his announcement for governor. And we're still waiting for Ed Durr to file, even though he made his announcement. And all the Democrats filed, Jack filed, he's on the campaign strong, very strong. So it's going to be a primary. It's going to be very.
Are you voting next year?
Am I voting next year? Yes.
Okay. Well,
This year,
this first and the fourth
Right.
presidential and congressional. It's not a congressional one.
This year I'll be voting in Pennsylvania. So in 2020, I voted for Donald Trump in New Jersey and saw that the electoral votes to the Electoral College is the way to the presidency, and that's not New Jersey. The battleground state is where I campaigned for Donald Trump in 2020. It's a battleground state again for 2024. In 2020, it lost by 80,000 votes. Whether or not you want to believe there was some circus stuff that happened, the number that they give us is between 60 and 80,000 votes in Pennsylvania. That's flippable. We have Scott Presler over there, as well as the Young Americans for Liberty gentleman, Cliff Mahoney, and they're running a ground game, doing exactly what the Democrats did, meaning ballot chasing, what they call ballot harvesting, vote early, getting everybody voting early, and that's where I'm focused for right now, 2024, and as soon as we're done, I'm back to Jersey. Anybody have any questions about anything?
What's
as
the
well?
residency requirement to vote here in New Jersey anyway?
I've looked it up, it's different by some states. Some states require you like 3 months, and then you can vote if you're a resident for 3 months. Some is 6. I think Jersey is like 6, maybe.
Don't you have to be a citizen to vote?
Of course, yes. Yes.
How if you're a Democrat?
In some states, they don't have voting in person at all.
Right.
Yeah, everybody has to vote.
It's that was when I went to Rutgers Newark Political Science. They made Montana that empirical, that model is that they had to vote by mail there because they couldn't have people. It was a very rural community, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I was brought up that there was vote by mail. There was plenty of overseas military people voting by mail. There was plenty of American patriots that were abroad working or traveling that voted by mail, but they had to request an absentee ballot beforehand. There was some proactivity that you had to take on your own part to be a citizen and say, okay, I know I'm going to be out of the country at this time, and you request an absentee ballot. Again, if anybody wants to correct me, I'm young, so please do. But that was the voting through mail, voting by mail. And now there's a whole complete different vote by mail ballot, which makes it just it dilutes the pool, dilutes the voting pool, right? Makes it bigger, more people, more ballots out there. You have to do it, and that's not even talking about when we went through 2020, when 9 million ballots went out.
We'll check in to see if they're all legitimate.
Yes, I should pull up. Well, before I leave, June 24th, there is a big election integrity event here in New Jersey. They've had a couple the past 4 months. They had 1 or 2, and a lot of people showed up. So I'll share that with you guys so you guys can show up. One was in Bridgewater. I'll get the link, and I'll definitely make sure Mike has that as well. And yeah, if anybody has any questions at all, I can answer anything. Let's see.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Questions, comments? thank you very much for coming out today. You know, one of the things Michael and I really felt was important to have diversity of opinion here. And so while we all might not agree on everything, we thought it's important for the club to hear different opinions and different perspectives on things, whether or not we agree 100% with all of that. And I'm sure Ryan is no stranger to probably some controversy and some of his opinions and everything. But, you know, we appreciate you coming out here
Thank you so much.
to meet with us. We're grateful that you set aside some time for it. And if there's anybody we have your website. I don't think we have your contact
Right. You
info.
can reach me at NJ1ST on all social medias, but for an email, RyanMcDonaldUSA@protonmail.com. I have a couple cards I can hand out to you guys.
Great, thanks. So we'll take like a 5-7 minute break, and then we'll
Thank
come
you,
back
guys.
to our
Thank you,
regular
everyone.
program.